Good evening, everybody. Now, let's start today's class. Today, I think we should do optional mathematics. What? Or continuing that same studies topic. Okay, let's do one question. Okay, the question is find the ratio in which the point 3 comma y divides the line joining the points 9 comma 8 and minus 4 comma minus 6, and hence find the value of y. Hence find the value of y. Okay, this is our question. So this type of question was done in our previous class also, and we're just recalling it again. We're just revising it. So find the ratio in which the point 3 comma y divides the line joining the points 9 comma 8 and minus 4 comma minus 6. It's given here. Now it means this is a straight line, and the straight line joins these 2 points. One is 9 comma 8 and next one is minus 4 comma minus 6. These are the two extreme points, or these are the points which joins this straight line, and there is a point here in between these 9 comma 8 and minus 4 comma minus 6, and it is 3 comma y. This 3 comma y is dividing this line in the ratio of m1 is to m2, and we need to find out the ratio as m1 is to m2 equals to what. And next thing is, what is the value of y? These are our two questions. These are the two questions that we have to answer. Now for this, we will use the formula, section formula here. Section formula in internal division here. So we have already discussed that 3 comma y is dividing this line in the ratio of m1 is to m2. So that is why this is x and this one will be y. This is x1 y1 and these are x2 y2. So in this point, the point which divides the line joining these 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2, the x component is known here, right? X component is known and y component is unknown. If x component is known, then what we should do is we have to take the x component of that same point and we have to use the formula for x component, like x equals m1 x2 plus m2 x1 over m1 plus m2 in this way. So in this point, in the point 3 comma y, 3 is known value. 3 is known value and this 3 is x component. So that is why we have used this x. X is used because x component is known. So at first, whenever we are finding the ratio, we need to use the same component which is known to us. If y component is known, then we have to use the formula for y component. If x component is known, then we have to use the formula for x component. Now what is the value of x? X is 3. So 3 equals m1. We don't know. X2. X2 is this one, minus 4. This is x2 y2 and this one is x1 y1. So the value of x2 is minus 4 plus m2. The value of x1 is 9. over m1 plus m2. Now after this, the 3 multiply this 3x m1 plus m2. 3 multiplies m1 plus m2, and whenever this minus 4 multiplies m1, it gives negative 4m1 plus 9m2. Or now let's open this m1 plus m2 by 3. 3 multiplies both these terms. When when 3 multiplies m1, it gives 3m1. When 3 multiplies m2, it gives 3m2 equals minus 4m1 plus 9m2. Now after this, the terms with m1 should be kept in one side and the terms with m2 should be kept in the another side. Or 3m1 plus 4m1 equals 9m2 minus 3m2. Or it is 7m1 equals 9 minus 3 is 6. 6m2. Now we will get the value of m1 is to m2. Or now we can just leave this m1 here in this side, and m2 should be shifted in the same side of m1. Means m2 divides m1 now. This m2, whenever it is brought in the left hand side, it will go down as the denominator. Means if there is multiplication form on shifting the side or changing the side will form division, and similarly this 7 also will go there in the next side, and it remains in the denominator. So we'll get m1 is to m2 as 6 is to 7. 6 is to 7 is the ratio. 6 is to 7 is the ratio on which 3 comma y divides the line joining 9 comma 8 and minus 4 comma minus 6. Okay, do you have any confusion, Arivan?
No, sir.
Okay, I am not being able to see you. You are covering your camera. Okay, very good. Now it's fine. Okay, so after finding this m1 is to m2, we need to find the value of y also, because y is unknown. So for finding the value of y, we will use y component. Also y equals m1 y2 plus m2 y1 divided by m1 plus m2. Now can you put the values? The value of m1 can be placed as 6, right? And what is the value of y2? The value of y2 is minus 6. y2 is minus 6 plus m2 is 7, and value of y1 is how much? 8. 8 divided by m1 plus m2 is 6 plus 7 equals 6 6 are 36, negative 36, 7 8 are 56 over 6 plus 7 is 13. Now it becomes 20 over 13. Now we got value of y also. Therefore, y equals 20 over 13, and this is our answer. Okay, if you have any confusion, if you have any question on this solution, then we may discuss on this. Do you have any question, confusion? Anyone has confusion on this? Arivan, do you have?
No, sir.
Anushka and Agasri, any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay. Is this done now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, if so, then let's move to next topic. I think you don't have any confusion on this type of questions. Finding the value of x and y, and similarly finding uh, the ratios as well. Okay, so now our next topic is finding the midpoint. Midpoint formula. What does it mean by midpoint? Do you know what is this midpoint means? Do you know what is that midpoint means?
The middle of 2 points.
Hmm. Okay, if this is straight line and if it is taken as a comma b, then any point p that lies at the middle of these 2 points, or which can bisect this line. This is line AB, this is line AB, P is any point. Now if it divides this line into two equal halves, then that point is called as midpoint. Means this part and this part must be equal. This part and this part should be equal. And if we relate this with our section formula, then P is the point that divides the line AB in the ratio of 1:1. Means equal part. M1 is to M2 will be equal to 1:1. It means the ratio will be 1:1. Means this part and this part are equal. So such type of the point is called as midpoint. So midpoint is any point. Midpoint is any point that divides the line into two equal halves. Hey, so such type of point is called as midpoint. Now, if this A is assumed as x1, y1, B as x2, y2, and point P as x comma y, then we can say x comma y is equal to x1 plus x2 over 2 comma y1 plus y2 over 2. This is the formula. Or if we use the points individually, then for x component we can use x1 plus x2 over 2, and for y we can use y1 plus y2 over 2 also. So this is our formula. X comma y is equal to x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2, or we can write x equals x1 plus x2 over 2 and y equals y1 plus y2 over 2. This same formula can be derived by using that section formula also. If you use section formula as x equals m1 x2 plus m2 x1 divided by m1 plus m2, and since we have already discussed that the point P, whenever it lies at the middle, then it will divide the line in the ratio of 1:1. So that is why the value of m1 will be 1 and the value of m2 will also be 1. If you put the value of m1 m2 as 1 1 here in this formula, you will get 1 times x2 plus 1 times x1 over 1 plus 1. Then 1 times x2 is x2, 1 times x1 is x1 over 1 plus 1 is 2. That means we got x1 plus x2 over 2, x1 plus x2 over 2 and x2 plus x1 over 2 are same thing. Means by using this section formula also we can find the formula to find the midpoint of line joining any 2 points. Okay. So it has been derived from that same section formula, and because the midpoint divides the line into 2 equal halves, so that is why if you take ratio, then you can write 1:1. The point or the midpoint divides the line in the ratio of 1:1. We can say that, or it will be easier to remember this formula also directly. So the x component can be obtained as x1 plus x2 over 2, y component as y1 plus y2 over 2. Or if you are directly asked to find the midpoint between 2 points, then we can use this first formula also. X comma y equals x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So either you can use this or this. Okay, now you may copy this formula, midpoint formula, this one. If so, then we'll move to some examples. Okay, the first example is find the midpoint of line joining P3, 5 and Q1, 1. Okay, here in this question, the question has asked us to find the midpoint of line joining P3, 5 and Q1, 1. We need to find the midpoint. Like for example, this is a line. You can write it as P3, 5 and Q1, 1. Now you need to find this midpoint. Midpoint is x, y. And this P can be assumed as x1, y1. Q can be assumed as x2, y2. P is x1, y1. Q is x2, y2. So we can do here x1, y1 is equal to P3, 5. x2, y2 is equal to Q1, 1. Now, what is our midpoint formula? X, y equals to, anyone can tell? Anyone can tell? Agyasri, can you tell formula?
x1 plus x2 by 2,
Okay, comma.
y1 plus y2 by 2.
Okay, very good. X, y equals x1 plus x2 over 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2. So this is midpoint formula. Whenever you are asked to find midpoint, directly you can use this x and y component together. And sometimes if you are asked some point like first point or second point, then we can use these components separately. In that case, we'll do those type of question also. Now let's put the values. X1 is 3, x2 is 1, 3 plus 1 over 2, y1 is 5, y2 is 1 over 2, and it is equal to 4 over 2 comma 6 over 2, which is equal to 2 comma 3. Now this 2 comma 3 is our answer. 2 comma 3 is our answer. This is our midpoint. Do you have any confusion on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Arevan, do you have any confusion on finding midpoint?
Not really, sir.
Okay. Now I'll give one question for you. Question number 2 is for you. Find the midpoint of line joining A minus 1 comma minus 2 and B 7 comma 6. Okay, get the answer of this. Find the midpoint of line joining A minus 1 comma minus 2 and B 7 comma 6. This is your question. Have you got to answer?
Yes, sir.
What's your answer?
3, comma 2.
X comma y equals to how much? 3 comma
2.
2. Arivan, is this the same answer you got?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's move to next type of question then. Next type. Question number 3. Okay, the question number 3 says, the question number 3 is the midpoint of a line, the midpoint of a line segment is 2 comma minus 2, whose one end is minus 4 comma minus 6. Find the other end. Find the other end. Okay, this is our question. This question has told us that the midpoint of the line is 2 comma minus 2. The midpoint is already given. The midpoint is already given. One end also is given. We need to find out the other end. Next end we need to find. Like if this is one, if this one is our line, then you can assume this as A and this point as B. The midpoint is, you can assume it as M. Okay, the midpoint is 2 comma minus 2. So let's write here 2 comma minus 2. And one end is minus 4 comma minus 6. And we need to find the other end, we need to find B. So let's say it as A comma B. We can assume this as A comma B because it's not given. Now the first end, it is assumed as x1 y1. It will be x1 y1. Other end will be x2 y2. And the point will be x comma y. The midpoint is x comma y. One end is x1 y1 and other end is x2 y2. So here we are asked this point B, other end, means we need to find the values of A and B. So for this case we can use the x component and y component separately in our formula. Okay, let's write from here. Midpoint x comma y is equal to 2 comma minus 2. This is given information. Next is x1 y1. x1 y1 is a minus 4 comma minus 6. x2 y2 is b a comma b. Now we can use the midpoint formula for x component as x equals x1 plus x2 over 2. X equals x1 plus x2 over 2. Now what is the value of x? The value of x is 2, right? So 2 equals x1 is minus 4 plus x2 is a over 2. Do you have any confusion on this? Any confusion?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Anushka and Agasri, are you getting this?
No, sir.
So the given midpoint will be x comma y, and the first end is x1 y1, second end is x2 y2. Means the value of x is 2, value of x1 is minus 4, value of x2 is a. So x equals x1 plus x2 over 2. We are just using x component only. We have taken x component only. And now let's simplify it. Cross multiplication, 2 times 2 becomes 4 equals minus 4 plus a. Minus 4 can be taken in the other side. It can be shifted in the other side. It becomes 4 plus 4. which is equal to a. Now 8 equals a. We have got value of a. Similarly, in the same way, we can take the y component as well. Y equals y1 plus y2 by 2. Now, what is the value of y? The value of y is minus 2. Value of y is minus 2 equals y1 is minus 6 plus y2 is b over 2. Now, cross multiplication, minus 2 times 2 is minus 4 equals minus 6 plus b, or minus 6 should be taken in the left hand side. Minus 4 plus 6 barabar 6, minus 4 plus 6 equals 6, sorry, b, and or minus 4 plus 6 becomes how much? It is 2, right? 6 minus 4 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2, positive 2 equals b. Now we have finally we got value of a and b. So that means the other end is what is that other end? A comma b means 8 comma 2. This is our other end of that line. So in this way we can find the unknown end also, unknown points. Sometimes x component and y component of the same point may be asked. Sometimes the different components of the different points may also be asked. So we have to do in this same way, taking x component and y component whenever there is some variables to find. If you have any confusion, then you may ask. Have you finished doing this?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll give you next question, and this should be done by yourself. The question says the midpoint of a line segment is 1, 3 if one end has the coordinate minus 8, 8. Find the coordinates of other end. Find the coordinates of other end. Find the coordinates of other end. Okay, do this question. It is similar to that of upper question, previous question.
Yes, sir.
Have you got the same answer that I have
Yes,
written?
sir. Yes, sir.
10 comma minus 2. Okay, very good. Now I'll give another question also, similar type, and this is also DIY. In the figure alongside, AB is diameter, and C is the center. If coordinates of A is minus 8 comma minus 4 and C minus 6 comma minus 4, find coordinates of B. Now we need to find the coordinates of B. So AB is diameter, C is the center. So it is based on circle. This is circle, and this is A, and this is B. This one is center. Center C. AB is diameter. AB is diameter. Diameter is any line that joins the opposite sides or opposite points of the circumference through center. And center is always midpoint of AB. Center is midpoint of diameter. Center is midpoint of diameter. That means this can also be done in the similar way of previous questions. A is given here as -8, -4. C is -6, -4. Now what are the coordinates of B? That is our question. Cannot be said as A, B. Cannot we assume this as A, B? We can. We can assume that point B as A, B. So now this will be the similar question of previous one. Okay, solve it and get the answer. -5 minutes. -4, -4. Everyone, you are still doing?
It's like give me like a few seconds maybe. I'm basically done. Yeah, -4, solved.
Yes, solved. Got the same answer? Okay, I
Yes, sir.
think you're telling anything? Okay, so I think you don't have any confusion on this topic. Very easy questions. Okay. One question for your homework then. The question is, if P is, okay, let's write the coordinates of P also. If P 3, 5, copy with me, 3, 5 is midpoint of A, 4 and B 6, B. Find A and B. If P 3, 5 is midpoint, this point is midpoint. P 3, 5 is midpoint of A, 4 and B 6, B. Find A and B. We need to find the values of A and B. So this question should also be done in the same way that we have done earlier. We should do in the same process. The process is same. X1, Y1 will be A, 4. X2, Y2 will be 6, B. X, Y will be 3, 5. And then we'll take the X component and Y component separately and get the values of A and B. That's the process of solving. Okay, do this. Okay. Do this. I'll create an assignment in Google Classroom and then you can submit there. Hey, understood? And you have to submit your classwork also there, eh? Classwork also.
Yes.
Under the section regular classwork.
Yes, sir.
Today's work click this and make PDF and then submit this today's work, today's class work and homework in separate assignment section. Okay, do that. Let's do this much for today. Thank you everybody. Good night. And probably will not have
Sir.
class tomorrow. And
Why?
tomorrow is Janai Purnima. Tomorrow we have important celebration, important festival. So